1968. I want you to remember this year, 1968. What is so special about 1968? 1968 was the year of the Telangana, and in that year there were students who were protesting, and in one incident of police firing, 369 students were killed. Naturally, that resulted in an escalation of the struggle, and these colleges were shut down, schools were shut down, and there was complete havoc. As a result of that, we lost 1 year. I was in HPS in grade 8 in 1968. Mercifully, that was not, I didn't have to do any board exam. So the school was very sensible. We had Mr. K. Kuruvela Jacob, who was the principal, and you couldn't have had a better person than that as a principal. And they did the only sensible thing possible, which was to do our internal exams and pass all of us. So this is just a little bit of history for you. Now the reason I'm saying this to you is because today in 2020, or even before that, 10 years ago in 2010, or another 10 years in 2000. And I can just go on like this for practically 30, even 40 years. Do you think that mattered, that I and my batchmates, so-called, lost a year? Absolutely not. It did not matter. It does not matter. It didn't matter then, and it doesn't matter now. What matters and what mattered then and what matters now is what we do with what we have. And so I want to share some thoughts with you guys, because I believe all of you are sitting around and moping, and people are getting depressed and very sad about the fact that exam dates have not been announced, and you're waiting for the competitive exams and you don't know when they will happen. And some of you applied to colleges in other parts of the world as well, other countries. I wish you absolutely the best. Inshallah, may Allah give you great success. But you are all worried and so on and so forth. And now let me tell you something. First and foremost rule in life: do not allow what is not in your control to prevent you from doing what is in your control. This is my motto in life, and I have never regretted that, believe me. And my motto in life is exactly this: I will not allow what is not in my control to prevent me from doing what is in my control. So in this situation, what is not in your control? What is not in your control is to get examination dates, is to, open schools, and to get rid of COVID. I mean, if that is in your control, please go do that, because we need that badly. We need this COVID to be out from our lives. But you can't do that, right? You can't do that. I can't do that. Nobody can do that. What is in our control is what to do with the time that you have. Now that you are stuck in the house, now that you are, there is no school to go to, and so on and so forth, what is it that you can do with this time? And that is what I want you to focus on, and that's what I'm going to talk about. And if you listen to me, you are going to think back over this year as the most valuable year that you've ever had in your life. And you will have great fun doing that, and you will love doing that. Right? So, are you ready? All right. First thing, take up, go talk to your parents and say that you would like to do some of the tasks in the house. Whatever the tasks are. Pick one. Right? Don't get ambitious. Don't take more than one. Take one. And don't take the least one. Right? I'm going to go and turn on the light switch in the evening. No. Take a decent task. Make that, build that into your routine every single day. Believe me, in times of stress, and I've been through some amazing times of stress. On 3 occasions, I came this close to losing my life. But as you can see, I'm sitting before you, chatting with you. So, in times of stress, your biggest strength, your biggest support, the thing that will be with you and for you is structure, is a timetable, is structure. So get structure into your life. If you are like what I think you are, because I wasn't like that, but I'm special, but most people, you probably get up in the morning and you do not make your bed. It's there, the room is looks like some hurricane went through it last night, and so on and so forth. Now, this is the time to get rid of all that. And I'm not saying that because, for you to go to heaven. No. I'm saying that because that is the meaning of routine, and routine is something which will hugely, hugely help you. So the first thing to do is, when you wake up in the morning, make your bed. Right? Do not even go to brush your teeth before making your bed. Get up in the morning, have a fixed time to get up in the morning. Don't just lie around and sleep. No. Fix a time, the earlier the better. Get up in the morning and make your bed. And make it like it's going to be examined by, a master sergeant, and that you will be court-martialed if there is even one single wrinkle on the bed. So make your bed, tuck it in properly. Then go brush your teeth and so on and so forth, and I won't go into the details of what else you need to do. You know that better than I do. That's the first routine. Second thing what you do is, as I mentioned earlier, take a task. So say, for example, your task is cooking, so get on with it. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, make the menus, show the menus to your family. Don't get over-ambitious. Keep it simple. Show it to your family and say, this is what I propose to give you for breakfast, and this is what I'm proposing to give you for lunch, and this is what my plan for dinner, and this is what you're going to get today. Get on with it. Whatever your task is, right? Do that. Second thing is, while you are doing that task, and after you do that task, and before you do that task, and in the middle of doing that task, complete whatever that you still have to complete. For example, if you are preparing for competitive exams, study while you are doing that task. Take my word for it, you will study better, you will learn better. Rather than shutting yourself in a room and having somebody, your mother or someone, wait on you hand and foot and bring you coffee and whatnot, and you've got your pods in your ears. No. Study for competitive exams while working. So do that task which you have taken for yourself, and while you are working, study for your competitive exam. Whatever you need to catch up, catch up. Number 3, in the day, have a time for exercise. You don't need to go to the gym. In these days, do not go to the gym. Gyms are one of the biggest sources of infection. Do exercises at home. Your body has weight. That weight is all that you need. So do exercises at home. Jog in place. Do push-ups. Do sit-ups. Do planks, low planks and high planks. And that's about, as much as you need. So do those exercises. If you live in a place where you can go out, then go out, go for a run, go for a walk, nice long walk, go for a run. And while you are doing all that, also keep studying, keep listening to something useful. So there's a multitask in that sense, right? So routine. Make your bed. One significant task in the day that you're going to do at home. And third one is exercise. And the fourth one is in the middle of all of these together while you're doing that is catching up with whatever it is that you need to catch up with in terms of your work and so on and so forth. Now, if you are applying to colleges, continue that process and then write a letter to the admissions person in that college and explain to them what is happening to you in your country and say that this is what is happening in my country. And believe me, all of this is public news. You're not informing them, you're just reminding them. So tell them this is what's happening in my country, and that's the reason why I don't have, the exams are not out yet, I don't have the results, I don't have, whatever you don't have, this is the result, that's why it's happening. But I just want you to know, this is what I'm doing with myself. So tell them what you are doing with yourself. Tell them how you are keeping yourself usefully occupied while you are in the middle of this COVID lockdown. Now you might say, well, why is that person interested? Believe me, I am in that person's place, not your place. So I'll tell you why somebody like me would be interested and would be impressed with a letter like that. And that is because I may have children of my own. I am very fortunate I don't have children of my own, but those people do have, poor things. So they will have children of their own, and they will understand your dilemma, and they will admire you for that, and they will respect you for that. And for all they will tell their children, look, here is this person sitting in India going through all of this, and see how usefully they have occupied themselves. Believe me, that will stick in the mind of that person, and if that person is a decision maker, this will work in your favor. So write them a letter, tell them what's going on, right? Don't leave it as something which is blank and to be ignored. So we come to the final point, which is now use this time. Once you say, well, I've caught up, I've done all the studying I need to do, and so on and so forth, then use this time, even if it is a whole year, which it might be. So be prepared for the, within quotes, the worst, and understand that worst is not the worst. That worst is really a wonderful gift to you, and that's why I've titled this Gift of a Year. Learn something new. Learn a new skill. For example, one of the finest things that you can do is to learn a new language. There are a zillion online courses, excellent courses. Enroll for a course, take the course, learn a new language. A language is a window into a culture. A language is a window into the minds and hearts of people. A language is the biggest and most powerful source of communication, of influencing people. So learn a new language. If you are planning to go to a country where you need to learn the language there, start the process right here. Right? Start the process right here, because that's the biggest. I speak 5 languages, and I can tell you how powerful that is. Knowing more than your own mother tongue and knowing English. So learn a new language. Second thing is, many of you think you know English. You don't. Right? If you look at the number of words that you know and the number of words that you use in your conversations, it's pathetic. Because I don't even hear more than 20 words. So practice your English. And the way to practice your English and to make your English more powerful is to read and to write. Creative writing. Just write. Sit like I'm sitting now. Describe what you are seeing. That's it. Nothing else. You don't have to have some inspiration coming from God. Just sit where you are, look straight ahead, and describe what you are seeing. Describe in so many words. Imagine that you are speaking to somebody who is blind, and describe to them what you are seeing, and then try and do that in as creative a way as possible. Many people laugh at Shashi Tharoor. I think they are stupid. Right? Here is a man with an amazing command of the language, which is very powerful. So listen to Shashi Tharoor. Okay? Listen to people who speak well. Listen to people who speak powerfully. I'm not saying you start imitating Shashi Tharoor. Don't do that. I'm very much in favor of using simpler language than he uses. And you can be equally powerful or more. So, descriptive writing. Second thing is reading. Read P.G. Wodehouse, read J.R.R. Tolkien, read authors who are masters at crafting their crafting their stories. Read my books. I am writing a new one on my days in the tea plantation industry. And so when that comes, read that book. There is a book called The World We Do Not See. All of these are on Amazon. Read that. It's about wildlife. You will enjoy it. So read good writers and write creative writing. Do that. Description. Right? And that's it. I don't want to lecture you for an hour. This is more than enough. In 20 minutes or 15 minutes, I've told you all that you need to know in order to make this time the most enjoyable time of your life. Forget about being depressed. Being depressed sucks. Relax, chill. Right? Don't eat like there's no tomorrow, because there won't be a tomorrow if you eat like no tomorrow. You're sitting in one place and you just bloat. So don't do that. So what did I say? Quick recap. Make your bed. Take a task to do in the home. Work with the family. Take a task to do in the home. Do that task. Number 3. In the middle of all this, catch up with what you are doing. Whatever needs to be caught up with, catch up with that. Number 4. Learn a new skill. I said language. You can learn anything you want. And number 5, and that's the final one I want to say to you, is do not confuse schooling with education. Schooling has nothing to do with education. Education is independent. Education is available to anyone who wants to learn. You don't need a school for that. You need a mind. Today, thanks to open source, you can actually sit wherever you are sitting and attend a course in MIT, a live course in MIT, a live course, a live lecture in MIT, a live lecture in Harvard. You can talk to somebody in the International Space Station. There is the internet has given us access to all kinds of information, all kinds of people. It has given us FaceTime with all kinds of people. Maximize that and ramp up your education big time. I want to close with this and tell you that if you follow this advice, you will look back on this year with absolute delight, and you will wish that this had been told to you much earlier. And let me give you the good news. When this whole thing finishes, and everything finishes, and this will also finish, inshallah. When this finishes, and you go into your college and your competitive exam and so on and so forth, continue this process of what I'm teaching you, because what I'm teaching you is for your life. It's not only for this period. Helping in the house, making your bed, maximizing the use of your time, learning new things, accessing information across the world, not confusing education for schooling. All of this works for you lifelong. Use it and pass it on to other people, your own friends, and when you are old enough and you have your own families, to your children. All the best to you. I wish you all the best, and I wish you great success in whatever you have chosen to do for yourself. Thank you very much. Love you all.